Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Friday afternoon chat where we will talk all things racing and hopefully give you some important information that you can mull over, chat to your friends about, and maybe make a difference to the sport that we love. But it's a difficult Friday afternoon because we've got racing at Fairview and at Greyville. And we obviously want to watch that as well so you can listen to the show and watch the show at a later stage. But there are a number of good things and a number of bad things that have happened in the last few weeks in racing. So since I was last on the show, I want to start with the Summer Cup because to me that was a highlight. And Summer Pudding winning the Summer Cup was just absolutely unbelievable. I didn't believe she could do it. She did it. She did it with aplomb. She did it with ease, and she did it from a very difficult draw with a great ride for Warren Kennedy and a perfect training prep from Paul Peter and his team. And congratulations to all the connections. I know that Mary and Jessica have been involved in this family for many, many years, and it's wonderful to have them come out and win a race like this with this mare. This filly, she's just absolutely incredible. As I said, draw 19 or draw 18, 59 on her back, the best handicappers you can find, horses off bottom weight. Was very hard to see her winning it, but she's obviously got immense class and really tremendous, tremendous feat. Excuse me. As for Summer Cup Day, well, who knows how that ended up? We didn't get to go there. The pools were way short. And just talking about the pools, let's get into that next because uh, the provisional pools, the hopeful pools, pick sixes and everything, were about 20% short of where they should be. Now, let's analyze why that's the case. And the most important point to remember is that the big bookmaking houses, of which a number of them are sponsors of our race courses and of our major racing events, run what's called the open bet. So let me explain to you what the open bet is for starters. The open bet is a bet whereby it's taken supposedly on the tote, but it's not taken on the tote. It's taken by the bookmaking house, and they hold the bet and they pay the tote dividend. So whatever the tote dividend is, they pay. So a Summer Cup pick six paid 330 odd thousand rand. It was a 4.6 million rand pool, and if you took a bet with one of the big bookmaking houses, you ended up getting paid that, or according to their terms and conditions, a percentage of that. Because if you took it a straight line, they'll never pay you the 330,000. Depends how much you spent and whether they pay you on that type of basis. But they've got all types of terms and conditions, and I really believe you should read them first. And it comes down to the bottom line. And what is the bottom line? The bottom line is that I know punters that put pick sixes through these big betting houses, and racing never earned 1 cent. The only betting house where you earn the money is Interbet because they run a tote agency. Now, what I believe should happen is that all these big betting houses should run tote agencies. The money should go through their tote agency and only through their tote agency, and therefore racing would get its percentage. But I know of pick sixes in excess of 50,000 rand that were taken with betting houses, and not 1 cent of that comes back into racing. So that's what's giving us a problem, because 4.4 million was what they got. They expected 5 million. When you're 20% short on what you expect, you know that there's a problem. And the problem is just exacerbating itself worse and worse. Every single meeting, every single bet that you take with a betting house as a normal run-of-the-mill punter does not go anywhere near the racing industry. It just goes to enrich that betting house. I know four pick sixes that were taken in excess of 20,000 rand that went to the big betting houses. The second point is the illegal bookmakers. And this is the big, probably more worrying than the betting houses. With illegal bookmakers, and there are a number of them, have clients. They might have been bookmakers in the past, but they have clients, and they bet to these clients on the basis of betting on the tote and betting through the bookmakers. No tax is paid on any of that money. That's wrong. That's completely wrong. And my idea to sort this out would be very, very simple. Set up a SIU, Special Investigating Unit, and start bringing people to book. And if you do that, you'll start frightening a few people, and you might start getting a lot more money through the totalizator. The second thing is to make it attractive enough for the big betting houses not to run the open bet, although that's going to be very difficult, because when you consider that you, in effect, are walking into an MTN store and buying a Vodacom SIM card or buying Vodacom products from an MTN store, that is akin to what's happening in racing at the moment. What's happening is that you're able to walk into any betting house and bet on anything that you like and pay nothing back to racing for it. So the beneficiary of your bets is not getting any benefit at all. And I think that this is the biggest problem that racing faces in the new era. Now, let's talk about the new era. No one knows what's going on with the new era because Phumelela's business rescue practitioner has still got to sell off some of the assets. I know that Interbet is half owned by Phumelela, and they will eventually be put around the table to try and work out what happens with these assets. But the longer it goes, the more we see the same old, same old. And the same old is the same old people running racing, the same old problems that we've got, the same problems that we have with Polycrack. And if you look at Polycrack, nothing has changed and nothing has improved. In fact, things just seem to have got worse. The Andrew Bond incident, I do not know the ins and outs of it. All I do know is that Andrew Bond would be one of the first people I'd have on a racecourse anytime, any day. For the simple reason, okay? Hello, Mohammed. Nice having you on the show, and great chatting to you the other day at the races. Nice to meet some of the faces that we see or we hear about on Winning Ways show. And the simple fact of the matter, getting back to Andrew Bond, is Andrew Bond is not only a highly talented producer, film producer, and filmmaker, but he is a fan. He loves racing. And he gets jobs to do for people. And like everyone else, we all have our shortcomings. I include myself and everyone else in this category. But the bottom line is we love racing. We love the sport. And certainly we should not be wrapped over the knuckles for what people perceive to be anti the establishment. And I think that's the problem with Andrew, is that he is perceived to be anti-establishment. We have people running Polycrack who patently don't like him. And to keep him away from a race meeting is absolutely unacceptable. He's not warned off. He has colors. He is allowed on all the training centers, and he does work every single week on racing for the industry for very little return. And I can tell you this is the point. There are people sitting in high up positions, CEOs of Polycrack, Phumelela, racing executives of Gold Circle. All these people are getting extremely big wages. They get paid a lot of money. What do they get paid a lot of money for? They get paid a lot of money to do actually not that much. In fact, if you look at the track records of those that have been paid a lot of money, you wouldn't employ them in many positions because they have run this business into the ground. We have tried, and we, I mean all of us fans who love racing and don't get paid, to try and make some type of contribution to this industry by way of opening our mouths and speaking and using our brains, which we've always done, to try and see a way forward and fix problems. I have always been a visionary. I've been a problem fixer. I'm a solver. If I see a problem, I'll tell you how to solve it. And the total turnovers, getting back to them, one of the biggest problems you have is that you cannot work as an industry unless you work absolutely together and you maximize your income through minimizing your costs and your cost structures and your partners should be all on board with you as far as racing is concerned. Right. So let's have a look. We missed a meeting at the Polycrack on Sunday. This exasperates the problem that I've just been explaining to you. I played golf on the Thursday night at Royal Durban. The track was absolutely ripped up. It had been ripped up on Thursday or Wednesday or Tuesday, but on Thursday, when I got in my car to come home, the track was ripped up. Now, what happens with a Polycrack is in case of rain, you've got to seal the track, which means you've got to get the water to run off it. Now, if it's been ripped up, no water's going to run off it. It's just going to collect on it. So what happened? Thursday night or Friday morning or whatever, they had enormous rain, supposedly 50 millimeters. I never saw it, but whatever they had was enough to waterlog the track. So you missed a meeting. Who's brought to book over this? Is the manager held accountable? There have been many instances in the past where things have been wrong with the Polycrack. We've had patches. We've had racing abandoned because it's inconsistent surface. We have horses running down the outside rail because it looks like the Golden Highway, as one leading jockey calls it. What happens? Nothing. He just carries on. The man who's in charge never seems to get wrapped over the knuckles. Well, who knows what might happen? And why not? Well, because management is ineffective. And the board of directors are just as much to blame, because there are people on the board of directors who have not done very much for racing in their whole lives. All they do is they sit there as fat cats and make decisions that have affected the way this business has been run. And actually, proactive, they are not. So that's a big problem. So that's the Polycrack. Let's talk about a couple of other good things that have happened. Matt de Kock. Matt de Kock is a revelation. He's obviously the son of a champion trainer and hasn't had it easy. He's worked from the feed room up. His father then decided that maybe he should run Dubai. He worked in the feed room. He helped them there. He's been all over the world. He decided to go to Australia to gain some experience and teamed up with the Griffith team. Now, it's fantastic. It's a fairy tale story. These guys are running since Matt has been there, 18 winners out of 70-odd runners. It's absolutely amazing. A credit to South African racing, and shows what we can do in South African racing as far as bringing everyone together and getting everything done as far as is what is needed in racing in South Africa. But here's a man who's gone overseas. He's teamed up with an Australian, and by teaming up with the Australian, he has actually completely made himself into a household name in a few months. He is a fantastic guy, Matt, and we wish him well. And we believe that the Griffiths team will go from strength to strength, and this isn't the last we'll hear about them. Right, let's have a look at the SAEPH, South African Equine Horses Protocols. They came to a grinding halt the end of November. Why? Probably because they didn't have money. Why didn't they have money? Well, they've been funded by a whole lot of philanthropists in racing who have done their very best to try and get this the protocol sorted out. Unfortunately, COVID came at the wrong time. That certainly set them back. But let's not be like the South African government and so blame everything on COVID. I mean, were we actually going anywhere? Did we? Can we not get the audit? Can we not do the audit somehow? Can we not get horses out of here? We've seen Hawam spending months and months and months in Mauritius and now going to England. What's going to happen to him there? I don't know. Who knows? The Grand Heritage, supposed to be a 28-runner handicap with anti-post betting and the whole hoo-la-la. What's happened to it? And 17-horse field. The top weight won, and well done to Stuart Pettigrew. I think it's a second Grand Heritage. And it was, by all accounts, not great. You had 9 runners in the consolation. Why didn't you just put the 9 with the 17 and have 26? No one knows. We have a racing executive who's sitting in England running Pumalela. Everything's the same old, as I said before. So what else good has happened? A couple of good things. Allen Bloodlines, David Allen got 2 very, very important awards for his small business in England. He runs a business called Hintlesham Racing, which is a syndication operation. He's a great supporter of South African racing. He puts his money in. He's had a lot of mares here. He's had a lot of interest, and he's brought a lot of people to racing here. And he races in England. And he got business awards. These are guys that we should be using their brains. He runs every week. He runs articles on his website, which are so proactive and so good and so worth reading. And no one does anything about them. Here's a man who thinks about it. He's prepared to go out and work. How many people in positions of executive actually think about this business and think about what they're doing and think about maybe we should be doing this or doing that or doing the other? Very few. The other man who retired, or the man who retired, who was very sad, is Michael Clower. He is a fantastic journalist. He did his very best under trying circumstances to get us print stuff and things out there that we needed to know about. He was very friendly with a lot of the stables. He got wonderful inside information, and I think it's very sad that a man like him is retiring. And in most countries, it would be accepted and received with a fanfare and a golden handshake and something that would make him proud to have been a journalist for South African racing. So he's been a wonderful, wonderful attribute to the racing. So what else is there? There's not much. All that looks to be happening is bleakness. I can't see how we can hope to improve this business while we still have the same old suits, getting the same big wages, and running the show. Racing is on its knees. The people who are still supporting it are doing it from the bottom of their pockets, not the bottom of their hearts, from the bottom of their pockets. They need to be rewarded. There's only one way to reward: straighten up the business. I can't keep on going on this show and asking people to do something proactive. But if everyone did something proactive, just a little proactive thing to help racing in its future, we might start getting somewhere. There have been great things. Neil Andrews and Nico Kritsiotis, they gave up Polycrack, they walked away, and they're doing Clocking the Gallop. There's people like me. There's people out there who really are trying. Charles Fall, just a number of people who really do have the interests of racing at heart. Some of the rest, I really feel sorry for you and almost feel extremely annoyed that you're in the positions that you're in and are so inept and useless. From me, James Goodman, until next time, you have a great show. Now, please subscribe to the show. Press the subscribe button. It's a little red button, and press the notify bell. We need subscribers. We're at 950, and we want to get to 2,000 subscribers in the next year. I'll keep doing this, and I'll keep rattling the cages. Have a great weekend's racing.